Hello everyone, and welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube, where I talk about all things luxury, be it luxury fashion, luxury travel, or life's luxuries in general. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. Now, as much as I cannot believe that 2024 is almost over, it means that it's time to reflect on this year's purchases. So I'm going to be talking about my best purchases of 2024, as well as how well I did sticking to the wish list that I started the year off with. So if you do not remember what was on my wish list, I've done two wish list videos this year. The first one was back in January, and then I did a mid-year wish list update. And I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to see how you think I did as far as sticking to my wish list and the purchases that I made. But I feel pretty confident this year. And so to start off with, I'm going to start by talking about handbags. Now, in my initial video, I had talked about several handbags that I was wanting. I was wanting a purple ostrich bag that my husband thought was absurd. I was wanting to get a wallet on chain. I was looking at either Chanel or Dior, and then I did a whole ginormous video talking all about like 20 different walks that I went and saw. That'll be linked down below if you yourself are looking for a walk. And then I also talked, of course, putting just aspirations out there of a Birkin, but I did say that I wanted to limit my handbags this year to just 4 handbags. And in my head, I've kind of justified myself around saying that I stuck to that 4 handbag rule. You may disagree with me, but the important thing is I don't have any regrets when it comes to any of the handbags that I purchased. So the first 2 bags I'm putting together because I got them both in the Strathberry sample sale, and because of that, I was able to get them at over 50% off. So the first one is my gorgeous purple mini East West in the silk. So 1 of 1 as far as the material. They didn't do this bag in a purple silk. They just had a prototype in it. And then my 1 of 1 bag style in the prototype clutch. They did not end up deciding to produce this clutch style, so I was able to get a fantastic deal on it from the sale in October. So I'm counting these as 1 bag for my own mental self. This bag fit the purple bag that I was wanting to get, even though it's not ostrich. It is at least in the color that I wanted. And then this bag, one of the things that I realized up in New York is that I really wanted a bag that was a small black bag for evening, for events, that I could hold with my hand here to give my hands something to do. And so I've actually used this bag so many times since I got it. The first week that it came, we actually had to go to the funeral of my husband's great-grandmother, who was 98, and I carried this, and because it was a graveside, it was perfect because it gave me something to do. I was able to hold this with my hands and not look awkward standing with my hands at my side. So I was really glad to have this bag. It has become very functional and practical for me. Now again, if you don't buy the whole counting those bags as 1 because I got them so good, well, this bag I sort of only have half of, because this bag I share with my mother. She and I went in 50-50 on it and purchased it together. We live like 15 minutes apart, so that's not really a big deal. And so it is my Chanel Series 1 vintage classic flap in the lambskin that I love. This was a dream bag for me that I honestly never thought I was going to be able to have, but Una from Vintage Lover 83 wonderfully sold this to me at the most amazing price in the world, and I could not have been happier having this bag. This bag is extremely special to have in my collection because it is such a gorgeous classic, but it has also become one of my favorite bags to carry. I actually really have gotten into carrying shoulder bags this year, and this one fits so perfectly under my shoulder. It holds everything that I need exactly perfectly, and honestly, if I could find more small classic flaps at this kind of a price, I would definitely potentially see myself adding 1 or 2 more. That is how much that I love carrying this bag. So then I went on the big YouTuber handbag tribe shopping trip to New York, and I brought this bag home from Fashionphile. This is my Chanel wallet on chain. If you haven't bought the argument for the first 2 bags and reducing them in my count, this one is technically a small leather good. So again, another way that I'm kind of justifying myself around technically having 5 instead of 4 bags is that I could count this one as a small leather good if I wanted to. But this one was an item that was on my list. I had been thinking of a burgundy or a red, and this bag, it was just so perfect. And I have to give credit to Meredith from Living Looks with Meredith and Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet for telling me to get this bag, but the ultimate credit for me coming home with this actually should really go to Deb from Wild Unfiltered, because she told me I was between this and one that was new in store, and she told me if both of them were right beside each other, not thinking about the fact that one was pre-owned, that one was new, not thinking about the price difference, which one would my heart gravitate towards more? Which one did I mentally gravitate towards more? And I sort of decided it was going to be this one, and then as I was walking up to the counter, there was someone with that bag that I'd been looking at in store in the color that I'd been looking at it in, and this one to me was just so much more gorgeous because it was just a little bit brighter of a red. It didn't have the brown undertones to it, and so this to me was the absolute right decision and checked off a wish list item. So got a purple bag, got a walk, and then added a couple more bags as well. But then there was one more surprise in New York, and that was my gorgeous, happy yellow Fendi baguette. And this is my Fendi chain baguette. It is the only item that I actually own from Fendi, and I really love this bag. This again is another bag that I've enjoyed so much carrying as a shoulder bag, and I'd never really been a shoulder bag girl until this year. Well, okay, I take that back. I'd been a shoulder bag girl in high school, but since high school, I had not been a shoulder bag girl. So having this bag was just absolutely so much fun for me this year. It was in a color, which I typically don't do color, but the color really has worked well with me and my wardrobe. I've carried this one so much since getting it. Another absolutely great purchase, and so happy to have made this be the final handbag that I purchased this year. Now, there were 3 pairs of shoes at the beginning of the list. A few more got added on as I went throughout the year, but the first pair of shoes that I had wanted were a pair of black YSL boots with the gold heel on them. I did purchase them. They were in my YSL collection video. Absolutely loved these, so glad to have gotten them. But when it comes to my best shoe purchase of the year, it was going to be the other pair of boots that was on that wish list, my Penelope Shilvers, and I'll put on a picture so you can see them. But the brown leather knee-high flat boots, I have loved these boots this winter. They are very equestrian, which I rode competitively for many, many years, so that is definitely a core part of my style, and I have loved wearing them. They have been so comfortable. They are perfectly broken in at this point, and I couldn't be happier that I got them. It's, as much as I hate to admit it, it's been pretty nice having a couple of pairs of boots that were not high-heeled boots that worked quite well for me. In the initial video that I did, I'd also mentioned that I wanted a pair of black slingbacks. Didn't get those black slingbacks. These are shoes that I very much think that I need to be adding to my collection, and so if they do not show up under the Christmas tree, they will be being bought with Christmas money. I'd also had a couple of other shoes in my updated video for the summer, and when it came to those were several pairs of flat sandals. Ultimately, didn't pick up any of those, but I did pick up a pair of the Stuart Weitzman sandals here in New York, and those have been a good purchase at a much more palatable price. Now, when it came to jewelry, there were a couple of different pieces going on here. First off is the David Yurman and Helena Y necklace. Still don't have that necklace yet, but it is still on the list. I do really want to have it, but I did actually get the Helena petite hoop earrings, and I love those earrings. Those are absolutely some of the best purchases from this year because I have worn them all the time. They are one of my most worn jewelry pieces for the year, and so of course they are going to be a highlight purchase, even though they weren't from the wish list. I did also talk about wanting a watch, but I didn't get to that milestone quite yet that I'm wanting the watch for. So I have decided that I do want the Carrera date watch. That is going to be a #1 priority for next year. As soon as I hit that career milestone is when it is going to come into the collection. So didn't get it this year, but will be getting it in the future. Now, I had also mentioned at the end of the first video, I believe I talked about to my husband wanting us to get matching love bracelets. We did get matching love bracelets, and so those are absolutely a best purchase. We have worn those love bracelets every single day since we got them. We have not taken them off. We don't plan to ever take them off. So cost per wear is going to be really low on those eventually. Another excellent best of the year purchase. I'd say that love bracelet was overall #1 purchase for the year. Honestly, the #2 purchase for the year has got to go to another jewelry item. Again, I didn't have much on my jewelry list this year, but I ended up getting quite a bit of jewelry this year, and the gold Renaissance band that I got from David Yurman is another piece that is one of my absolute most worn pieces in my collection, and I love that ring. I wear that ring nearly every day, and so again, a great purchase. Now, the final 2 items that I had on my list. One was the Hermes belt kit in black any tube with a silver buckle. I did get that for my birthday, and I've worn it quite a bit. It's just a really great staple to have. I wouldn't say that it was like a #1 purchase of the year, but it is definitely something that has made dressing go a lot more smoothly, particularly when it comes to coordinating my jewelry with my belt buckle, because that had been just annoying me so much of the time. Now, when it comes to the final item on the list, the clothing item on the list, I've gotten quite a bit of ready to wear this year, but surprisingly enough, the clothing item that I had, the tan, very expensive coat that was on my list, I ended up finding a way better deal on a way less expensive designer as opposed to luxury piece, and that was my Ralph Lauren coat that I got in the sale from Nordstrom this year. But there's a piece that I purchased, and it is my red Ferrari dress that I think is my best clothing purchase of this year. This dress makes me feel so beautiful, so pretty. It is a gorgeous piece. It was at a great price, and I've also gotten to have a lot of really good memories in this dress so far, and so there's a lot of now sentimentality attached to it as well. It's also just a really, really cool dress, and Ferrari gave me a pair of sunglasses when I purchased it as a gift. They've given me a book since then. They are going to be sending me some runway pieces, and it's just been sort of a really great place to launch an even better relationship with my sales associate and with the Atlanta store for the Ferrari brand. So for that reason, I've got to put it in a best purchase category. So overall, I feel like that I accomplished a lot that was on my wish list. I have plans for the other things that I didn't get. And then with the additional items that I purchased not on the wish list, every single thing that I have purchased this year, everything that I have unboxed on this channel this year, I am so, so happy with. I don't have a single regret purchase for the entire year, and for me that is a huge success, because in the past I've always at least had a couple of things that I regretted. So with that, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video as I've taken some time to reflect. But what do you guys think, if I didn't mention it, were some of my best purchases this year, and what were some of your best purchases as well? So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye!